Hi everyone, hope you are. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Cardano. Once again, thank you for your continued support. Really do appreciate everything you do to contribute towards the growth of CoinsKid here. Sharing is caring. Thank you for your comments, your likes, shares, everything you do. Okay, we've got a Patreon group right now and it's blowing up. We've got lots of people in there, lots of great content that people are really happy with as well. We're getting some really good feedback on that content. Thank you for those warm comments on the content that we're providing in there. Okay, so if you're not already a member of the Patreon, do head over there. It's well worth a look. Okay, so right now, Cardano is really strong. You're in price discovery. Okay, you've made a high, you're rolling back, you've found a key level of support, which we'll go into in a moment, but it is really strong. It's one of those sort of projects that's been a little bit laggy to get to its all-time high, but once it's got there, it's absolutely broken out, and now it's marching on to these sort of price predictions that we've got going on for Cardano, and hopefully, you know, we can start to sort of march on slowly but surely, at least to this 1272 extension right there of $4.18 for Cardano. Steady and slowly wins the race, eh? So right now we're going to jump in on the 4-hourly and see what we can see for Cardano. So with Cardano then, yesterday we gave you this key level of support off this new retracement, because we were retracing yesterday, do you remember? And I said to you, if you lose this particular level, okay, then you will start to see a bit of reversal wave and put some cheeky bids in at the bottom of that reversal wave. That came effectively because of the correction of Bitcoin. Like I said to you, Bitcoin's the anomaly, and I'll be honest with you, I'm seeing a bit of a bear flag on Bitcoin at the moment, so we may potentially see another roll on Bitcoin, but it don't necessarily mean it will happen. So do keep an eye on Cardano, because obviously if it does start to roll, then it's because of Bitcoin and that bear flag carrying out at the moment it's got on the 4-hourly time frame there, because we do have a bit of a lower target on Bitcoin, around about 49k I think it is. I can't quite remember off the top of my head, off rising wedge, and again that can be a throwback and it can carry on going up here, but it's always the anomaly, isn't it? When Bitcoin corrects, it drags the market down, and this was the anomaly here that we found. We was doing really well. We had this base level of support, we was retracing to a beautiful level, and then obviously we lost to 0.618, the golden ratio, and we started to create that deeper reversal wave, and you can see with the reversal wave that came down, we rested on the previous swing high. Do you see that? Boom, target met. So do remember that in the future, if you do start to see the reversal wave, it's well worth putting a few cheeky bids in at that particular level. And obviously in this case you've got the 55 EMA, which acts as a really good strong level of support right now for Cardano as well. So right here, bullish cross on the 4-hourly time frame, uptrend, boom uptrend. Do you see that? Beautiful. I'm seeing a lot of projects that have gone into a bit of a downtrend, have formed a bearish cross on the 4-hour, and they're actually under the EMAs as well, and they're hitting the head. So they're sort of looking a bit scary, those particular projects right there, for further downside. But right now, Cardano, I want to reassure you, is in a league of its own, effectively, because it's broke its high, and it's now starting to have its own little bull run, just like Ethereum did, okay, where Ethereum just started to march on, and everyone's scratching their head, why comes Ethereum's marching on, nothing else is? Because this is what happens, okay? It doesn't, bull runs, it doesn't just all go across the board. Sometimes it gets segregated into certain projects, and you can see Ethereum's absolutely bolted, okay? Now you can see that it's moving to Cardano, it's showing enormous strength, okay? You've got Litecoin that's bolting, you've got XMR that's pushing up as well, and this is what happens. It just doesn't get distributed on one sort of the entire crypto space. It moves blue chips to mid caps to low caps, and right now that you can see that potentially you can see this is where this more upside could come in for Cardano, providing, you know, it can keep holding support and not lose these levels of support. You could see definitely more upside for Cardano, and carrying out these price predictions right here for Cardano as well of $1.86 that we got off this previous impulsive move, and then obviously off the ascending triangle, which we've had for a very long time. I think we've had this for around about 5 or 6 weeks, this price prediction up here at $2 plus there for Cardano. So it's looking really good, it's looking relatively healthy. But what I want to see, obviously, you've got to break this high at $1.83 for continuation, because you don't want to come up against it and hit resistance, because that means you're sort of entering a consolidation event if you do start to see that for Cardano. So right now you've come up in this huge impulsive wave, back tested the 20, another impulsive wave, fell for it, lost the golden ratio, created the reversal wave. So right now you're forming a new impulsive wave. Do you see this? This particular wave here is an impulsive wave. So what we're going to do is drop the fibs on it again to see exactly where you could start to go to based off this new impulsive wave right here. So when you do drop these, you don't use the bottom wick, because it's basically a scam wick effectively. So it's go from that wick there for more confluence, okay, to the top, and you can basically see that if Cardano right now is forming this new impulsive wave, then you could potentially be looking at $2, just like we said, anticipate that lines up with that price prediction. That's where you could see Cardano in this new impulsive wave, which is actually forming right now. This is what it is: corrective wave down, okay, impulsive wave starting to form, get through these levels of resistance, and especially this high here. If you start to get through this high, I'm going to just take this out because that was off the previous impulsive wave right there. Yeah, so if you start to see Cardano march on now, sorry I had to pause that video, so obviously I've come back to it, and you can see that Cardano's broke down a little bit. There's been a little bit of a correction, but you can see it's bounced back off this 20 EMA on the 4-hourly time frame right here. So yeah, if you do see Cardano march on here and it starts to march on, you could be looking at a $1.99 Cardano token and a $2, just round it off to $2, which is basically our price prediction off that ascending triangle. So far so good. It's holding well, and that particular correction right there that's just rolled over, you can see it's bounced off to 20. So that's relatively good. It's looking relatively strong for continuation, is Cardano. So with that, from here, if you was to see more appreciation, you could be looking at more upside of around 15% for Cardano. But like I said to you, you've got to get through that high. So do take note of this particular high here, that if you do start to see Cardano get above that high, you could be looking at a $1.99 token for Cardano right there. So effectively, if you do start to roll here, then where's your next key target? If there was a roll in the market, obviously, hopefully anticipate that we can keep going up in this beautiful waveform that we've got going on for Cardano, because like I said to you, it's in its own little league, right? It's in its own little bull market. It's really, really strong. But obviously if Bitcoin rolls, it's going to roll it with it. So if you do start to see it roll, then do anticipate that you're already sat on this side. You see this? So you come down to the previous swing high, which is there, this particular high over there. So that, in my opinion, would be a really good area to put some bids in if you was to see a roll for Cardano, because from here right now, that would be a downturn of around 10%, and I would imagine that's where the 55 is as well. So you can see it's sort of lining up perfectly. So that's Cardano in a nutshell. So far so good. It's looking relatively strong for continuation. Hopefully we now go on, obviously break this high, because we will be looking at a $2 Cardano token over the next sort of few days there with this next impulsive wave that's going. Look how strong it is. Okay, it's just rolled over and it's bounced off this 20 and it's getting bought up. So hopefully we can continue, get through these levels of resistance right here. And it will be looking golden basically. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with another update on Cardano. Take care everybody. Bye bye.